Hello again, I'm Tripp Rogers, and this is Tripp's Take. Well, Sunday will mark another trip around the sun for me, number 66. And I've said this on this program a couple of times. I'll say it again. I'll probably say it every time I bring up my birthday. Cannot top graduating high school on your 18th birthday, and the drinking age was 18. So I could legally drink on my birthday. So that was one of the most awesome birthdays. And again, you can't top it. And the funny thing is now with my birthday in June, and actually it's really close to Father's Day. So, I prefer and I'm happy to celebrate Father's Day with my daughter because I think that means a little bit more to me. Not so much my birthday, because my birthday's my birthday, right? I mean, listen, I've had parties before. I know I've hit some big numbers, but again, it's just, after that 18th birthday, I just don't think you can ever top it. And I just, it's kind of like, and I say this, if you're very successful at a young age, it is so hard to sustain it. Doesn't matter what you do, inevitably, you're going to have a dip in your life. And that's the same thing. When you have that big birthday, and again, you do enjoy getting together with folks, but most of my birthday celebrations have been very low key. I've had a couple of parties and that's great. I mean, I had a 50th birthday party and I got to see a lot of my friends that day. Unfortunately, it was the last time that I saw my cousin Barbara's husband, Dave, because he passed away not too long after, a couple of years after that. But that was the last time I saw him. So it was fun. But again, it's a birthday. And it's just a number. It's a day. It's a day like all days. Nothing special this week. I think we'll have dinner at Outback. Although everybody's thinking I would go to Wawa for my birthday on I wonder why. And he says that wearing a Buc-ee's shirt. And I should mention at this point that Buc-ee's is set to open in Brunswick, which is about 45 minutes away from me, on July 1st. And I am sure that Sandy and I are going to make a run down to Buc-ee's. Although, even with it close, you're not going to go there that much. I mean, Buc-ee's is one of those things you go to when you're on a road trip. That's what Buc-ee's is all about, being on the road. I mean, listen, it is overwhelming. If you've ever been in one, it's Wawa on steroids. And that's what I said, and people have said this too. Buc-ee's, though, there's so much stuff there. And it's one of those things where it's kind of like going to Costco. Dare you to get out of there without spending $100 because it's impossible because the food is that good. And the snacks are that good. And, they've got tchotchkes and shirts. Again, here we go, Buc-ee's. So it's just, but a road trip, you have to stop there. And the other part of it is the bathrooms are nice and clean. They really are. And that's one of the great things about Buc-ee's. And that's one of the consistent things about Buc-ee's is clean restrooms. Much like Wawa, consistency is in their sandwiches. Their sandwiches taste the same, whether you're in New Jersey, you're in North Carolina, you're in Florida, or you're in Georgia. That's one of the best things. And a company that can do McDonald's, same thing. It is very rare you will detect a difference between a McDonald's in one state and another state because everything is the same. That's the key to success. I suppose I could say the same thing about White Castle hamburgers too, but that's for another story. I want to talk a little bit about a subject I have talked about a couple of times, and I'm going to be curious to see how this kind of works itself out. Earlier this week, it was announced that the Tampa Bay Rays there's the process of their negotiating a sale to a new owner. And you'll recall, as I've talked about, the current ownership group in Tampa Bay, it's not going to work. They want them to build them a stadium, and they had a deal, and then they reneged on it, and people are not happy with the current owners of the Tampa Bay Rays. The only way for that team to probably stay is they're going to have to build a new stadium. They cannot stay in the dome. And the problem is that, of course, they have another year they have to stay. But to build a stadium, it's going to take too long. Having said that, I mean, it is embarrassment that they're playing in a minor league ballpark. Actually, there are two major league teams that are playing in a minor league ballpark. That's another story. Yeah, I won't go into it. But the Tampa Bay now has an opportunity because they have a new owner. But read between the lines, folks. And I say this because I've said this to my buddy who tells me, oh, everything's going to be great. Oh, they're going to build a stadium. It's going to stay. They're not drawing flies. This guy has ties to Jacksonville. Don't be surprised if they move out of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay will not support a team. If Tampa Bay was to draw 25,000 people to a playoff game, I might change my tune. But the fact that they can't draw flies at any time, the only reason they're selling out every game they're playing at home. But look at their attendance on the road. Their attendance on the road is god-awful. Nobody wants to see this team. And they're winning. That's the problem. They keep putting on, and my buddy keeps saying, the Yankees and the Mets, they got all this money, and the Dodgers, and they're spending all this money, and, they're winning, blah, 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 and they're getting more out of their bang for the buck. I get that. But you got to have fans. You got to pay for the ballpark. And they're not going to build them a ballpark. Hopefully, this new owner be able to work something out. They can build a ballpark. Not in St. Petersburg, but somewhere else where they can be happy. But again, I really think this guy has ties to Jacksonville. Don't be shocked if they decide they try to work a deal out. He says, no, we're going elsewhere. They'll either go to Orlando or they'll go to Jacksonville. Still staying in Florida. But if they go to Jacksonville, they'll be like, oh, Jacksonville's a small media market. Jacksonville, build me a stadium, A. B, they're in the NFL. So how small are they? That's the other side of it. Why not? Jacksonville. In fact, it would be easier for me to go to Jacksonville to see a baseball game than it would be to go to Atlanta. Atlanta's a 4-hour ride. Jacksonville's 2, maybe 2 and change. So I'd go there to watch a game. I really would. Be interesting to see how this whole thing works out. And of course, the same day that they talked about this, they announced the Lakers were being sold. Unreal, the amount of money. When you consider that when Jerry Buss bought that franchise and the Kings and the LA Forum paid $67.5 million. Unreal. And they're just selling the one team. Just the one team. That tells you how far, and he bought the team, by the way, in 1979. Tells you how big sports teams are, how much the valuations are. I mean, heck, Tampa Bay Rays are selling for $1.7 billion if you read the reports. Are they worth that? Really? And that is Tripp's Take for June the 19th, 2025. Love to hear your comments and questions about my podcast. You can email me, trippstake@gmail.com. I want to invite you to catch our other podcast. The Hall of Famer Mike Scheck and I are just about ready. Training camp starting next month, and the fantasy football season will be starting. Fantasy Sultans will be back. Spotify for podcasters and YouTube. Search for the Fantasy Sultans. If you like the music of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and who doesn't, just lost Luke Christie this week. And listen to WTRSradio.com, powered by Live365.com. I want to thank you for joining me. For now, I'm Tripp Rogers. Make it a great one.